What, are we going to get like a 2-3-1 or?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure I hit record on everything.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks for coming. I'm James Stinger. I collect Seattle Mariners stuff. I've been at it for more than 30 years now.
Wow.
Got into cards when I was about 6 years old. Back then, I just liked, looking at the stats and seeing the history of stuff, because both history and math were cool to me as a kid.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I want to collect something specific. What do I really like? Oh, the Mariners, because I grew up locally. And it just kind of ballooned from there. I'd go to the couple local card shops we have, dig through, finding all these old cards of players I never even saw play. And then, also things like, say, Griffey, because that was the perfect time for starting to enjoy baseballs when he was huge. And slowly that grew into doing memorabilia, whatever little things I could find. And after all this time, now it's a little bit of everything.
So,
I bought one pack for $5 and hit that.
wow. I remember as a kid, we're both, I'm 41. I'm 40, you're 41. Okay, we're about the same. When we were younger, there was no phones. There was no entertainment outside of that, so it feels like the cards for me, I remember, Legos was a big part of my upbringing, you as well.
Yep.
Yeah, but the cards were definitely a chance for me, like you said, to look at the back and actually read them.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Absolutely.
And we would get excited about looking at the design and just enjoying it in our hands, the physical aspect of the cards. And I think that's what's so cool about cards today is it gives people a chance to get off the phones and stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
They're trying these digital cards. Do you have any of that stuff?
I do.
Oh, you do?
But I more just was okay, let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
And
it's not for you.
Not really.
Yeah.
Again, I love that there are options that people can collect however they want to.
Yeah.
But that's sort of a dicey area.
Yeah. I bought a few packs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I'll keep collecting physical stuff, I think, for me.
This is from the 1995 Western Division Championship that we won. First time we'd made it to the playoffs, and obviously they were excited. And one of their players, Alex Diaz, he's fourth outfielder.
Yeah, I don't remember Alex Diaz.
Most wouldn't.
The name. I don't recall.
During the celebration or after, he decided to get everybody to sign a bottle for him. He hung on to it for years, eventually sold it off, and then I got it from that person. So it was the first time where almost the entire team came out. You've seen their dance they do.
Mm-hmm.
Where almost normally it's either all the infield will do it. This one was almost the whole team all came out and did it. Those were the cleats he was wearing.
Wow.
And that ball back there is the one he hit to win it.
Wow.
And then I started getting a picture signed by, hopefully, eventually everybody that was in that.
So how are you finding these type of things, these relics?
A lot of it's social media.
Social media. Not eBay. Not just eBay.
Yep. The ball was auctioned by the team. Because they do a lot of that through.
Oh, okay. So you're involved with direct auctions from the team.
Yeah.
Right.
But the cleats, so Mitch donated, I believe, most of his cleats from that season to a veterans charity.
I see it.
And then right now,
there's 1,000 players through the history.
Yep.
Here you have Ichiro signed baseball.
Yep.
Wow. $200-300.
It gets weird with ones where they're signed by multiple people.
Right.
People don't like that quite as much. But yeah, a lot of Ichiro balls are around 300.
Right. It seems like even in when you're talking about memorabilia, cards, especially a rookie auto, if it's a triple auto, and you got Chris Paul in there, but then you have two guys nobody's ever heard of.
I've got a Felix auto over here. It's him, Steve Carlton, which is great, and then someone I don't even remember.
Right.
Just
Is this current?
Yep. I made sure I updated that this morning.
Wow. Current Mariners count 51,000 cards.
Yep.
And 800.
And like I said, all different, does not count duplicates, because duplicates don't matter to me.
Are we talking
2001.
Wow. So this has got some value. It's got his, everything inscribed, all that.
Yeah.
Man, look at that. That I thought they'd switch out the bats every game.
Nope.
No.
Unless they've damaged it somehow.
They use that.
Oh yeah, they will use the heck out of it.
Look, that was used for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Don't need to get that close.
Oh. You probably got some moss growing on that stand.
This was a good example of errors people make with grading. This was an SGC 6, and it was because it was super cloudy. Nobody had
wiped it just a little bit with some microfiber or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Took it out, cleaned it up, and oh, that is perfect. So
yeah, Pinnacle did a good job. Pinnacle is one of my favorite for Damian Lillard, and I think Pinnacle. This is the good example of we need another Pinnacle.
Yeah.
We need another, these type of companies that get some licenseship and bring something unique to the cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every so often, I'll be flipping through and I'll have to pull a card. Oh God, this went up in value. This needs to go into the case now or something,
It'd be more manageable. Got these clear stickers on them, so why do you got the clear stickers?
What if a card tipped over or fell or a shelf broke or I just drop it when I'm handling it?
Right.
I don't want the case to just fly open. Throw a little sticker that doesn't,
Where'd you get these stickers?
just off Amazon.
Very nice.
That's because
it's non-evasive to the whole aesthetics of it.
Because that's a lot of breakers are using them to send their nice hits
out.
Right.
They're branding as well at the same time.
But that's not what I want in here.
Yeah, it's about the cards.
Exactly. A basic clear sticker does the trick.
So you got those on all the mags.
Slowly.
Yeah.
I'm mostly waiting until I move them into your mags.
Okay, so in this case, did I pick the winner, the most expensive card, or no?
Probably. Actually, I think I only paid about $120 for that.
So what's your most valuable card in here?
Ooh, that...
Well, for you, it was probably that card that you just showed me, the Dan Wilson.
Actually, no. It is probably this Edgar Martinez. This gets back into the, 90s stuff, having the cult following. That is 1998 Bowman Chrome Golden Anniversary Refractor. That's out of 5.
3 out of 5, yeah.
Which again, back then, a card out of 5 is a much bigger deal.
God, the quality of this card is unreal.
Even the refractor finishes back then were just a step above.
Yeah, it's next level stuff. It's Martinez Drive. We're going to start going through your museum here. What do we got going here?
All right, we got a few favorites. It started... There was a time where one-of-ones were a big deal.
Yeah.
And this was my first one.
This is your first 101.
Yep. Carlos Guillen, 1999 Ultra.
Wow. This is a GTI mag right here.
Yep. That's one of the first that got moved.
Wow, look at that thing. I like how... Okay, so one thing I like about the old 101s, they said Masterpiece Edition.
Yes. Yep.
That was so cool. So I don't know if you can see here. The 101s in the past...
Sorry.
Like you said, it was special.
Yeah.
There was just one.
Exactly.
Not a nebula, not a black shimmer, not a true black.
Yeah.
None of that stuff, Yeah. So I don't know who this is, unfortunately.
Yes, Carlos Guillen, such a well-known Mariner.
Yeah.
But also this was fun for me because it was a gift from my mom and my aunt.
Cool.
Because it was, like 99, I was 16. I couldn't blow $150 on a card.
And that's what that was back then. And how about now? Probably about the same.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Because I actually got a different one of this guy maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think I paid like $150.
Yeah.
But then it's interesting because the 90s stuff has such a cult following.
Yeah.
There's one from another set, same guy, went for $1,000.
Station, James, is no joke, right?
Right. And when you get a collection this big, you've got to keep track. Otherwise, you're going to end up buying duplicates of stuff and it's just chaos after that. So,
and you're quite technical savvy.
It doesn't hurt, yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
So, I started this, I was just saying, it's a 26-year-old spreadsheet I've been building on. And it is literally, starts right at the top, 1977. Then I'll group them by, if I've got everything in a set, I'll group them all together so that it's not taking up a huge amount of room.
Right.
And yeah, everything I get goes right in here. If it's something that's on its way, I keep that. That way I'm not buying stuff that's just not here yet.
That's all en route
at
the moment.
Exactly.
How many cards are we talking about here?
286. Although 2/3 of that is stuff at ComC. Because I'll build that up for... I usually only ship from them twice a year.
Binders here. How many? What are we doing here with the binders?
So, as it said...
Can we take one out?
Absolutely. We've been talking 90s. Let's go there.
Yeah. Because you're saying that these are just regular base cards, right?
Now, and inserts, basically it's just the less valuable
Any
stuff.
numbered stuff in here?
Oh, sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Here, let's...
I'm a big numbered card guy. I like numbered cards.
In fact, here, right off the bat, all these Gold Studio proofs out of 300.
Wow. So those are like $5, $10 cards easy all day long.
Yeah, I mean, and the A-Rod's probably a decent amount. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll get fun.
What a
die cut inserts.
Fun binder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these with the it's not acetate, just the die cut.
Yeah. Yep. 98 was a good year. You know what? Oh God, Topps Tech.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Look at these.
So,
man.
98 was a nightmare for that set. There are 90 patterns for each of the for everybody, but there are 4 Mariners in that set. Griffies are pulling $20 a pop now. Never going to complete that.
I gotta ask you, James, what are we doing with this specific card right here? Why do you have so many of these Alex Rodriguez?
It was 90 versions.
What do you mean 90?
All the backgrounds.
Yeah. See,
oh my God, the parallel game was unreal.
But they're all in, like, they're not numbered or different rarities.
No.
They were all equal amounts.
This is a nightmare to collect them all. What year was this?
1998.
What is this?
Topps Tech.
Topps Tech.
Yep.
Which is the new Star Wars, by the way.
Yeah.
It's called Topps Chrome Tech.
Yep.
Star Wars.
That's what they based it off of.
Okay.
It was 90 players, 90 cards per player. It's an 8,100 card set.
Unreal.
And there is a parallel version of it too, called a
What are we
Diffractor.
talking price on these guys?
So A-Rods you can probably find for $3 to $5 a pop.
On these guys, yeah.
Griffies are up to 20
okay.
each, which means I'm never going to finish them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. A-Rod,
And this
I'm
is
actually
just
almost
one
done.
of your binders.
Yeah, that's just
you've got.
That's like the 3rd binder for 1998.
What do you got? You got about 100 binders.
125, I believe.
So I mean, like to truly understand this collection, we could sit here for a month.
Yeah.
And look at everything.
Yep.
Yeah, this is interesting. We might have to have a round 2 as far as like videos are concerned. Those are bigger ones, those Pelicans over there?
That's like the ones I brought. Well, actually, slightly smaller than
So-
the ones I brought.
And those are all autographs in those 4.
So if we open one of these right here, these big ones, we're talking.
Yeah.
Let me check.
And these are paid here.
There we go. So this is just filled with autos, you're saying?
I think
Oh,
there's
there's side
clips on
ones
the
too.
side.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
guys are locking this stuff up. Come on, look at this thing.
Yeah, leave your head like that. There you go.
Wow. So if I pull one of these out, we're talking an autograph.
Yep. Except for maybe those encased ones. Those are those top vault blank backs. Those aren't autos. I just had nowhere else to put them. But go with the first row for this. I want to be safer.
Like right here? So yeah, if we pull one of these out, we're talking Edgar Martinez on card, numbered to 150. Topps Chrome Black, relatively new.
Yeah. So that because they're in chronological order. Yeah, newest stuff will be in this top one, and then all the way back to, I guess, my earliest ones.
Very
are
organized.
91. So these are going to store all of my expensive, rare kind of stuff. And some of it's kind of wild, like weird stuff that people don't even know is valuable. Like this looks like junk wax type stuff, but it's a Topps test issue of minis they did that they never released. Or Mother's Cookies, which have been, a thing on the West Coast for forever. 2 cards that never got released because these people all got fired.
Right.
Just weird stuff.
Super collectible stuff.
Yeah, starting lineups that never actually got produced. So, or actually, here's one I think you'll enjoy. We were talking about Upper Deck. These are prototypes of the first set that they gave away at shows in Anaheim in 1988. And of course, 89 was the first year of Upper Deck cards. So, just fun stuff like that.
And you try to keep the value in these cases.
Yeah, usually I want to say $25, $30 minimum.
Or more.
Or more.
Okay.
But also then not necessarily something that has room out in the display. Because obviously I've got a finite amount of room.
And you got, these are Pelican cases that you got here.
Yep. And then you get some, like red refractors that are all the 5.
Yeah,
but
can I hold some?
Please, yeah.
Yeah, this
mostly
is
of people you've never heard of.
Yeah, just handfuls of refractors.
Yeah.
Like, look at this Ichiro. That's out of 50 right there, an Ichiro just chilling amongst thousands and thousands of cards. Oh, man. You got Kyle Seager rookies.
Yep.
Numbered.
Yeah.
Kyle Seager, I remember. So how does he stack up, Kyle Seager, as far as, legacy? He was a pretty big name, no?
Yeah, he's certainly going to be one of, the all-time Mariners for
Right.
sure.
Okay.
They'll end up.
Of a lot of your like bigger cards.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Very cool. And then what else we got in this corner? You got even pendants over here and more cards and more cards.
Right. So the theme over here are the All-Star games.
Right. So what do we got here? We got the old.
Yep. So we got actually Felix Hernandez's first Bowman Chrome auto.
I see this one.
Yeah, how about it?
So I do see you have a inner sleeve over the top.
Yes, that was especially when people were getting real worried that being in a mag would scratch a Chrome card.
Yeah.
Which I will say was not something I ever ran into, but I also don't move my cards around, so once it's in its spot, it stays there.
And also this Ultra Pro, there is quite a bit of space around the card, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is something that I notice a lot of people still doing, and I mean, it's cool. Like you said, you collect how you want to collect, but I'll give one logical explanation for this, what my thing is on it. If you have a penny sleeve, it's got 2 layers of plastic, right? And so if you're putting it over the top, you're looking through more fogginess than you should be.
Yes.
And then somebody could argue, well, why would we even put a penny sleeve? Well, for me, the penny sleeve allows that barrier for it to float in there.
Yeah.
So I think it is kind of important, especially for like this type of card with autos and all that kind of stuff. But if you're putting 2 layers of plastic over the top, it gives too much fog to the card.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I'm switching. It obviously matters to me that the cards be easily visible, and this does it, pure and simple. It keeps them more protected, and you can't even tell, that they're in anything different.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people, like the wrinkling, there's not like wrinkling.
Not a
and
bit.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
That's, I've switched probably, I want to say...
Probably at least 100 by now.
It's getting there, yeah.
You come to the office. We're going to have another office trade night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you can't tell. Honestly, I think they're clearer even with the penny sleeve than Ultra Pro is without. They just absolutely pop. I have been so happy. Yeah. I was fascinated by the whole... By official art cards.
Right.
Like, I love the idea of everyone being able to make art. And I've got a smattering of things. Like, actually... Well, I'll get to that.
So
but,
you support the art card industry. Very cool. Very cool.
I don't necessarily consider, like... If you made an art card...
Right.
I would want it personally, but it wouldn't count towards the number.
Right. It's got to be official company. Like
Tops.
Like Tops.
Yeah. But I loved this idea of taking different... style approaches to iconic cards.
Mm-hmm.
It also, didn't hurt that this was 2020. We, were looking for interesting ways to collect because everything was a nightmare. But yeah, Mariners ended up with 2 players in that set, so I was buying these as they released, so I didn't have to, end up paying any of the crazy secondary prices that happened.
Why are we collecting? Why are you collecting?
So... Early on, once I decided I wanted to focus on something, not just build sets or collect big-name players, I feel it was natural to go with the local team. As for how I grew, I realized what I wanted to do was I wanted to put together a story of the team I liked. And you can do part of that through cards, in fact, a big part of it, but there's a huge puzzle that can be pieced together. And so every little thing I can find, especially the more unique, and not necessarily unique as in expensive, but weird or just unusual, the more of that puzzle and the bigger the picture I can put together. And it's a way to stay close to the team that I enjoy and follow and put so much time into.
Right.
And to be able to share that with other people.
Have you ever talked with the Seattle Mariners management team or anything like that about what you're doing here?
There's some people in the front office I've talked to, just in general conversation, nothing official,
detailed,
but just saying, here's the stuff I do. Especially when they do a lot of charity auctions and things like that.
So you've been in contact with these,
and I will often pick up things from that, and they'll see some of the weird things I choose to get, and I'm like, well, what are you doing? And I'll show pictures. I'm like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're seeing here. I mean, it truly is it's a museum.
Yeah,
and for somebody who collects, spending time in this room and looking through everything, I I'm a little overstimulated from all the stuff that I'm seeing right now. My eyes are still kind of dancing around, enjoying it. I bet you do the same stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
When you're down here, you'll just kind of slowly walk through and kind of look at things, maybe take a baseball out.
Yeah.
Look at it.
There are times where it still amazes me. I've found the things I have and amassed all of this.
I know. It's incredible. So then the other question goes to, your goal, we're kind of getting into that. It seems like that is your goal, yeah?
Absolutely.
To tell your story and let people enjoy that story.
Yeah.
So what do we see in the future here?
So this year I'm kind of focusing more on getting the message out that this is here. I've been posting more to social media. A lot of it is more focused on cards because that's a sort of easily digestible thing. You can post on Instagram. Oh, small picture of a card. There you go.
Right.
I'm in a number of groups that are heavily Mariners focused.
Right.
Finding like-minded people.
I think that's important, yeah.
It is, and I've had a number come over and get to enjoy this too, and it's nice to be able to share that.
Yeah, I agree.
That came out. So, well, I said I've collected for 30 years. I took a break from cards.
Oh, when was this?
From 2002 to 2013.
Oh,
I didn't get rid of anything.
Yeah, that's a big
I just
break.
wasn't actively buying.
Uh-huh.
This might be premature if we're going to talk about the hobby stuff.
Yeah.
Or I can jump into it.
Yeah, we can jump into it now. Yeah, it's great.
So, you mentioned earlier, cards were cheap. We could go to the store and spend 50 cents on a pack of cards.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't going to get anything, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both probably experienced that creep up in price of everything, but
I
also with
stopped,
quality.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kept going until 2002. My thought was, there's going to be a lot out there. I'm never going to get everything. It's impossible. But I should be able to get every base card that comes out. That is a reasonable goal each year. Then 2001 happened, and Ichiro.
Yeah.
One of his rookie cards was 2001 SPX. It had a game use piece and an autograph, and it was considered a base card.
Yeah.
And that's a 4-figure card.
Yeah.
Like, there went my goal.
You got
it's
priced
impossible
out.
now.
Yeah. You got priced out.
And the fact they were even considering that a base card was just, it made everything impossible. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'll pick up memorabilia, especially because that's the same time I started working for the team. It became much easier. It was like, I'm not going to focus on cards anymore.
Right.
And
so that was from 2002
yeah, when I gave
to
up.
13.
Yeah.
So about 10 years of just not buying cards at all.
Yeah. I probably picked up a few here or there, but because we sold them in the team stores, so sometimes I'd grab them there. But yeah, buying packs, that just wasn't happening anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, what got me back in was seeing them pop up so much at the grocery store again. Like, oh, I can pick up a cheap pack. Oh, this would be fun.
Mm-hmm. And even in 2013, I mean, it was good packs.
Yeah.
Not like today. I feel today, I don't know, how do you feel about the cards today?
It's so diluted again.
It's so diluted, yeah. I wish they could kind of slow the brakes and reevaluate what they're doing.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because it's still not like we're anywhere near the numbers of when we first got into this. Those, you were seeing millions of each base card.
Yeah,
Everything's
the
worthless.
early 90s was...
Yeah, it was the worst.
Yeah, it was pretty serious.
And we're nowhere near that, but there's still so much and so little that holds any value.
And so that's another thing I want to talk to you about is grading. I see no graded cards. Do you have any?
There's like 2 in there.
For somebody with this type of collection and not to have graded cards, I love it. I love it. I mean, the graded companies have their purpose.
Absolutely.
I get it. They're great. But I think today, tell me what you feel about this. I feel that the graded companies have created an industry where they want us to feel if it's not graded, it's not worth anything.
Absolutely.
And that's not fair, especially when you got such a diluted market. That perceived value doesn't really hit anymore.
No.
The PSA 10, the Gem Mint 10, is not what it used to be.
No.
And if you're not flipping the card and you're just holding it, your $40 cards to spend $30 to get them graded and it still be a $40 and maybe even less.
Right.
Card it's unreal. I'm picking up a lot of Damian Lillard's PSA 10. It's the same. it's the same price as it would be if it was raw.
Yeah.
It used to be the 9. The PSA 9
Exactly. That was
dictated
your
raw.
breakpoint.
But now I'm seeing the PSA 10, a lot of them are dropping raw value still.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see that.
A little bit, since I avoid it so much, I rarely compare the prices, but honestly, the only time I get graded is if it's so rare I have no other choice.
Right.
And then, unless it's a 9.5 or a 10, I'm cracking it out.
Yeah. What do you use to crack?
I don't know what it's called.
Tile nipper.
That it might be. I bought it after.
It's called a tile nipper.
Yes,
Yeah.
I bought it after we talked about it at the trade night.
Did you pick one up?
Yeah.
On Amazon, they're like $15
Yep.
or whatever.
Yeah, I've been using.
Do you go around the whole edge?
If I have to.
If you have to.
Yeah. I was just using like a channel block thing before.
Mhm.
This is way easier.
Yeah.
But that's the point you made is exactly it. Like, I hate seeing piles of basically base cards super high numbered stuff. Like, why did you even spend the effort to do this?
Right.
You're not going to get anything. And the other side of it for me is that it is too subjective. There are too many times where the grade doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
And, I mean, honestly, I think the idea of 60-40 still being able to get a 10 is offensive.
Yeah.
And I get it, that's the way they chose to do it, that's fine.
Right.
But it just doesn't do it for me.
No, and I understand. Yeah, I think a lot of collectors. I've met other collectors too. They're not. I mean, if you want to collect all PSA 10 of your favorite player, there are people that do that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's all they have.
Yeah.
Is slabs, and that's great. And my issue is just the way that the market has made us want to believe that if it's not a PSA Gem Mint 10, that it's not worth anything, and the PSA Gem Mint 10 is worth X value. It's not true.
Nope.
And I'm seeing that as I'm collecting and buying cards, that value only applies to certain cards.
Absolutely.
Not the Damian Lillard 2021 red parallel to $299.
Yeah.
There's one on eBay right now for $29. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to crack it, and put it with the rest of my 20 cards that I have of that collection. Yeah, so it's just really interesting. So another thing I kind of wanted to ask you, James, is Fanatics. They've got their foot in this pretty heavy right now. When we first started collecting, I mean, I remember Upper Deck, Fleer, Tops, Hoops, Stadium. I mean, there was everything. There's so many different players in, which made it like kind of a competition for like aesthetic value, quality. There were certain things people gravitated towards as far as like what they liked.
Yeah.
I always thought Upper Deck was pretty cool.
Right.
Really cool stuff. And they're kind of out of it now. And so if Fanatics has even magnetic one touches now. I mean, I hate to say it, but they're strangleholding this industry in a way that makes it kind of hard to breathe for a lot of people involved. I mean, and you want to support them because it is the hobby and they're going to be the future of the hobby. But I have a feeling, what do you feel with Fanatics?
Absolutely what you're saying. They've managed to take control of so many parts of the hobby.
Do you feel monopoly is a word we can
Yes,
use?
100%. And I've been using it for years in regards to them.
Yeah.
What really started to, well, two things. One, we don't have that choice in cards themselves anymore. So I don't do the unlicensed cards. I don't do the Panini stuff. Upper Deck really doesn't do anything for that anymore. But those companies are making good cards. And we just don't get that option because they don't have a license.
Have you seen Leaf? Some of their cards?
Some of their stuff is okay. I have some other problems with that.
Oh, okay. I always thought they had like good design.
They do have good design. My problem is what they use for like relics and whatnot.
Okay.
You'll see like a jersey piece, a teal jersey with a cream logo. That's not a jersey that exists.
Yeah.
That's a counterfeit item they're just slapping in there.
Okay.
They lose their credibility with me for that. Do I have a handful of their autos? Sure.
Yeah.
They go in the pile of stuff that doesn't count towards my numbers.
Yeah. Leaf had Damian Lillard's rights when he was a rookie.
Oh,
so all the good, beautiful Damian Lillard cards are all Leaf. And they're all on card. And
So that's nice.
And they're worth nothing.
Yeah.
Because, and unfortunately, if it doesn't have the license, like you said.
Yeah.
So Fanatics has all the licenses.
And that's terrifying to me.
It's terrifying, yeah.
There's going to be less quality across all of it. Like, besides just saying Panini or Leaf, Upper Deck is making some incredible cards in hockey.
Hockey? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Star Wars acetate cards?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's like a Rolls Royce, but I think these are tops.
Yeah, they've started putting out.
So they're acetate. They're just really nice. Yeah.
Nice.
So the people are doing nice things, but it's all going to be under Fanatics umbrella.
Yeah.
Everything across the board.
And I don't trust that they're going to innovate the way that we want to see.
Right.
To have nice looking cards because they can put out whatever they want. That's not saying they don't put out great stuff.
They have some good stuff.
Yeah, there's products I absolutely love.
Recent stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
But the other thing that did it for me was as they started to build up Fanatics Live. So I've been involved in breaking, not doing it, like buying into them for 8-10 years now.
Yeah.
And early on, it was, you'd buy them off eBay, and it would just be random folks just streaming what they're opening. It was simple. And then it blew up.
Right, you have the Whatnot, you have the TikTok.
Right.
And now it's Fanatics Live.
Yes. And they were pushing that allocations were going to be somehow involved with if you were using their platform, and there were going to be rules.
Oh,
one of my favorite breakers was going to lose some of his allocation because he didn't fit the mold of the sort of person they wanted breaking.
Right.
And I can get into the sort of reasons behind that, but no, you don't get to decide how your product is
It's called
used.
a yes man. Yeah, in the military we call them yes men, and so I mean it's somebody who's gonna look the other way and just do as told.
Exactly.
And not have their own unique elements added to the experience. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, you don't get to sell the product and tell people how it's going to be used.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Well, I've heard Fanatics Live is kind of struggling a bit. I don't have an account. I've never been on it. I should, to kind of research and kind of take a better look at what's exactly going on. I work with some breakers. They do YouTube. And I think a lot of the YouTube breakers, what they bring is their own communities, safe environments, pretty good prices too, as far as pricing is concerned. When you start dealing with Whatnot and what's the other one, Fanatics Live, their fees are heavy that they're taking.
Yeah.
So that's all going to trickle down to the overall price.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's unfortunate for the good breakers out there. There are good breakers on Fanatics. There are. But it's unfortunate that Fanatics is, trying to stranglehold it like that.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the end result here?
Nothing good at this rate.
You think with their bankroll and their pockets, I mean, they'll be fine.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, as a whole, they are going to be just fine. They have diversified so much that there's little that can affect them now.
Right.
Short of, them being punished or broken up.
Right.
Which, I mean, we said Monopoly. I
think there might be a lawsuit. This is my personal...
Oh, I'm there with you.
I think they're going to face some legal battles moving forward. And I think in 5 years, let's look at 5 years, I think that they will not have all the licenses. That's my guess. I don't think it's fair that they have all the licenses. I don't think that's right.
And I feel like this could be easily solved by just making them not exclusive licenses.
Please don't make it exclusive.
Let them keep making everything they are now.
Yeah.
Let the others do it.
Yes.
Too.
There's
no
a company
reason.
out there, an art card company called Piggy Banks. Have you heard of it?
I have.
Unreal what they do as far as like art.
Yeah.
And along with Piggy Banks, they're kind of the pioneers, it seems like. I could be wrong, but there's so many companies out there that are making really good stuff. And that should translate to, one of these guys maybe getting license deals with certain things, you know? Because I think collectors want the team name on there. That's
Absolutely.
what collectors kind of want.
It's why I shied away from, Panini. If you can't use the word Mariner on a card, it's not a Mariner card.
Yeah, it's not quite the same feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to match the rest of the collection, that feeling. And so, Fanatics, and I think another thing is, you got GameStop. I don't know if you're seeing what's happening with them, and it's just all under the same umbrella. And that equals monopoly.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a monopoly, is controlling the market and not allowing fair play.
Exactly.
And I think we're going to see, hopefully, some changes. We'll see. And I see a lot of the influencers and people involved in this industry play by their rules because they're getting kickbacks or allocations and that kind of stuff. Even the card shops today, you're going to see them move towards more of being yes men in this industry because they're getting allocation.
Exactly, and that's the name of the game. If you
Yeah.
can't get an allocation, you're not.
And so while I have the allocation for you, I have a Fanatics Magnetic One Touch, and I'm saying, all right, you're a local card shop. Here's your boxes allocation, but here's also our product. You need to buy our supplies at the same time, and it's like I've been facing that as a card supply company, doing wholesale, and growing as a company, and we have a great product, and I'm being told by some of these card shops, look, man, I love your product, I love your company, but it's, Fanatics has got us set up. It's like, what do they got you set up with? Well, they got, I don't know if you've seen the Fanatics mags, but it's literally the same as an Ultra Pro or BCW. It's just a generic mag with that mold that's been around for, 10, 20 years.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't see how Ultra Pro and BCW wouldn't be upset about this.
They're very upset about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and not just that, but GTS and all these companies that do the distribution. I mean, they're trying to disrupt the distribution as a whole.
Yeah.
They're trying to go direct from Fanatics to consumer, and the whole process needs to be run by Fanatics. That's the goal. And, man, this is not right. It just doesn't sit right. And if something doesn't sit right, it's something's going on.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens. We don't need to get into the detail about that. Let's focus more on it's a short life. Let's enjoy it.
Right.
And just work hard and enjoy and be good people and everything will be fine. But come on, Fanatics, ease up a bit. Let's make this a little bit more fun for everybody.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I don't know.
Absolutely.
All right, James. Well, thanks for having us over here.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it almost snowed today. It was 33. It was below zero.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but no snow. Do you like the snow?
I do. It's fun. It's fun on occasion.
Yeah, give us
me
a
once,
couple
once
days
or twice
a year.
a year. Yeah,
Please.
Exactly.
Please, we haven't had any.
Yeah.
Because we're here in Seattle, Washington, and we want a few days of snow. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll get it. Thanks for having us over. This is a collection that it's just, I still can't believe what we looked at. This stuff is unreal. It's like kind of like you're gonna have a legacy from this. I think this is your legacy, man.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible. You got anything you want to say?
Just thank you. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate the people that are going to get their eyes on this now, and I look forward to to talking with people, seeing what they've got, and
it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to do like a series like this is Mariners land we were in. What about like Kansas City Chiefs or Portland Trailblazers might be on the list for me to try to see if these guys will be up for a video like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people doing stuff like this. I've seen some stuff that's just mind blowing.
Well, this is the hobby. This is the essence of the hobby. It's a collector's hobby, and this is why people collect. Maybe not to this extent. There's a lot of stuff, James. You got a lot of stuff here, but everybody's got their own little PC.
Exactly.
And so keep collecting, keep enjoying the hobby. Game Time International. Check us out online. Check out James's Instagram again. And again, what was your handle?
Teal and Royal Blue _
So teal _ AND _ Royal Blue.
Yep.
Amazing Mariner collection. Take care and see you next time.